So last week I had a chance to talk with Richard Byrne of Free Tech for Teachers, and unfortunately we didn't post the interview because, well, I recorded it myself and didn't record his audio, which is not terribly useful to any of you guys. So I want to actually just recap my favorite of the tools that he shared with us last week, and you should be able to talk with him soon to get some more of his recommendations. But the first tool that he recommended, and my favorite of the ones that he recommended, was called 3Ring. And 3Ring is actually a really, really powerful tool that allows you to essentially build portfolios. If we think about 3Ring, a 3Ring binder, and we're organizing all of our student content, then we're putting it into a binder. Okay, and as a teacher, I always had the best of intentions with having folders for students and keeping everything together and being able to organize. And invariably, what I ended up with was stacks of paper that I sometimes had a chance to go through, had trouble providing instant feedback to students, and certainly nothing that they could then take forward with them as a demonstration of mastery or of what they're doing. 3Ring, though, takes your Android or iOS phone and allows you to just digitize content very, very quickly, even by just taking a picture of a page the student has created and then putting it into portfolios for your students. Wow, what a great idea! If only I'd had this when I was in the classroom. Students are basically all of these things get just chunked right on into folders, really. And now on your mobile device, you have access to student portfolios and can mark them up, can record work. As 3Ring puts it, it's a way to maintain a record of work that gets sent home, buried in a backpack, lost in a locker, and so on, and a step towards authentic assessment. And again, just talked with Vince Leung, Mentor Mob, about this very same idea that we need to be doing a better job of assessment. Filling out multiple choice and true and false exams is hardly a demonstration of mastery, but being able to show students work, talk about student projects, and really be able to organize that digitally, and then provide feedback on that. That's okay. Now we're starting to assess in a way that's reasonable and actually will show that a student gets it. Already we have exemptions from the national standardized testing for students with special needs who can prepare a portfolio to demonstrate mastery of topics. Quite frankly, I can't see why we don't just do that for everybody. But this is definitely taking us further along, and it's becoming the rare teacher who doesn't have a smartphone in their pocket and can't just snap a picture. Really, this is something well worth checking out. So it's just 3ring.com, THREERING.com. Apps for both Android and iPhone, well worth checking out. So this was originally shared by Aubrey Waters, and then via over on Hack Education, then via Richard Byrne last week for our ill-fated conversation about these tools. So well worth checking out. My second and final tool of the week is Adobe Story, and it's another freebie. At least it's free for now. I'm not sure what plans Adobe has to ultimately monetize this, but well worth checking out. This came to me. I was introduced to Story a while back during an Adobe briefing. It was just kind of an extra thing they tossed in. Hey, we've got this tool as well. It's in our labs. It's kind of cool. You should check it out. So I did, and really, what it is a digital collaboration tool for writing screenplays. The idea is that it actually has workflows that integrate with the rest of the Adobe Creative Suite, and so you could write a screenplay, for example, in Story, and then push things right over into Premiere and make use of use it for subtitles, for example. But really, it's a great standalone tool as well, and it allows students to not only organize their own stories and their own thoughts and their own multimedia content and just the way that they kind of work out a story, but allows them to collaborate and through Adobe's online services and hosted services. So this is Adobe Story. If you just Google Adobe Story, that's the easiest. We'll share a link though for it on the lower third. But it's Adobe Story is this incredibly powerful, rich Air application that is, as I mentioned, is free, but it really is one of the coolest things I've seen for encouraging students not just to write, but write together and come up with a really creative stories. We're talking already about this idea of authentic assessment and doing something better to assess students than just having them take true and false tests. Well, there's probably not many better ways of doing this than having them write and film an actual original screenplay. I bring this up this week. Adobe Story's been around for a little bit. I bring this up this week though because my son, and I mentioned it I think over on Review Ed. My son is working on a play with his class, and they're working on a play because in fact this was their year to study across the curriculum quite deeply the Middle Ages, and so they're writing a play set in the Middle Ages, completely original screenplay. The class is collaborating on it, and they're going to perform that play later at the end of the year for our town. Every year the school does this, and it's brilliant, and the plays are wonderful, and they actually the school resorts to really painful hand ways of doing it, and just the collation of content, and whiteboards as students really kind of hammer out what these plays will look like. But I have to say that Adobe Story would make this ever so much easier, and would allow for actually some very cool collaborative development of content, and even even for teachers or people who are in the business of writing, it's actually a really useful tool, and I'm finding I use it more and more for the books that I'm developing, just for sort of organizing everything and helping see a flow of a story. So Adobe Story, well worth checking out.